Make the right decisions is shorter and shorter.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine show. In the background today, we've got the 2045 advertisement video where it persuades you, basically, from my opinion, it persuades you to sign up for your own personalized avatar on 2045.com. The video right now is portraying humanity in crises. It says we are a ship without a captain, hence the background with the moving sea and raging waves, and now we've got all the crises from social media and whatnot. So it really paints a picture that humanity is in a state of turmoil, and it seeks the global support for immortality via nanorobotics. It's really a great advertisement. The video advertises the perks, so to speak, of immortality via transhumanism, and transhumanism hopes to gain worldwide support. And if you go to the Museum of Man in San Diego, as I said last week on the Week of the Whistleblowers when we first started discussing Dmitry Itskov, you actually see at the Museum of Man in San Diego at a beautiful park, I'm trying to remember the name, I keep forgetting the name of the park, of course, Balboa Park, at Balboa Park in San Diego. The Museum of Man is located there, and when you go through the whole exhibit, it tells you that the future of our species is robosapien, Homosapien to robosapien. And it looks like this is in the works, thanks to, or not thanks to, Dmitry Itskov, transhumanism, the 2045 initiative, whatever you want to call it. It's known by so many names already now. So this works toward developing immortal carriers for the human consciousness, as I've stated, and I quote, they want to create humanoid robots and cyborgs to transfer one's personality to an artificial carrier, etc., etc. They claim in this video shown behind me right now that this is an adequate response to the apparent crisis of humanity that the video portrays. And it talks about economic crises, cultural crises, poverty crises, and it says that the answer to these crises is immortality. So now we're going to go over the timeline of the 2045 initiative. 2013 to 2014, we're already past that. The cybernetic research facilities developed. We got an avatar photo we can show up here, and it describes, Avatar A describes a BCI, a controlled avatar, controlled via BCI. BCI is brain-computer interface, aka MMI, mind-machine interface. It's also known by a couple other names. It's basically brain mechanics. It's operating your brain. It's basically you're the operator, and you operate yourself in your surrogate, whatever that may be at the time, be it the avatar, be it the immortal carrier, whatever it is, whether you're in the avatar or whether you are in a cell-like box, immobile, and controlling your avatar elsewhere. So in 2013 to 2014, the cybernetic research facility started to develop, and the quote-unquote race for immortality began. Transhumanism movements went global, went from Russia to global movements. 2015 to 2020, we got a great avatar photo. The avatar is created. The avatar is created. I want to show a nice, lovely picture. Oh, there they are, the avatars. There's the avatars there. Now, what is an avatar? Is it a blue alien? Is it an incarnation of a Hindu god? Ding, ding, both those answers are right. But that's not the kind of avatar we're talking about here. We're not talking about the blue alien in that awesome movie Avatar. We're not talking about an incarnation of a Hindu god. Although those are both definitions on Merriam-Webster. The definition on Merriam-Webster that we're talking about, that Dmitry Itskov is talking about, is an electronic image that represents and is manipulated by a computer user, me, you, in a virtual space, as in a computer game or shopping online that interacts with other objects in space. So the first step is us living in a virtual reality and controlling it with our physical immobile bodies tied down in some cell-like, I don't know, box. I don't know what they would place us in. I'm sure it would look very scientific and weird, but let's not even get into that right now. So what does this mean for us? Am I going to be physically immobile, like I said, stuck in a coffin-like cell, operating my virtual self, or what is supposed to be myself from a distance until they find a way to insert my consciousness within the avatar? Am I supposed to trust that? Am I supposed to believe? Am I supposed to put so much trust in the 2045 initiative that I just literally hand over my entire being to the organization? Because that's essentially what we would have to do. Because the first step is becoming basically immobile and detached from your real physical self and controlling yourself virtually. That's what you've got to do first. So if you're willing to hand yourself over to the 2045 initiative, go for it. Better you than me, because I want to learn from your experience personally, so long as they don't make me do it. And is this, I'm just wondering, is this as crazy to you as it is to me? I don't know. Anyway, I know I got really into the show and we're on a roll here, but I just want to, remind y'all, thank you for tuning in to the Katy Sissine show. We are continuing the week of the whistleblowers, and good morning to you all out there, especially with this heavy news, I know. The definition of an avatar is from Webster. It's the most reputable definition that I can supply us with, but yet I feel like it's absolutely insane to even consider this supposed evolution for humanity. An evolution of humanity by humanity itself via technology. And this is because technology isn't humane. Technology cannot feel. If anything, in my opinion, this is not evolution. This is devolution. So I really don't know. That's just the way I see it. But anyway, so let's just move ahead here. Remember, we are walking through and discussing the Avatar project timeline. 2020 to 2025, the brain is set to be transplanted, the brain is set to be transplanted into the Avatar being. So we move from virtually controlling ourselves from a faraway distance in some type of a cell, immobile, to actually being in the avatar. Our consciousness is in the avatar. So our physical body, I don't know where that is. I don't know if they're going to cryogenically, however you say it, cryogenically freeze my real body, and maybe one day I'll be able to have it back, or what the deal is with that. But that's the plan. And it's going to be called an autonomous system providing life support for the brain. So it will be our life vessel. And we're no longer operating the avatar from a virtual space. Our reality is to be within the avatar. And what happened to our real physical beings by then? Well, our real physical body, who knows? I would like to know what they plan to do with that. I haven't seen any details of that on the video. I haven't seen any details of that on the website. I've seen their supporters. I've seen how awesome they think this whole program is. And I've seen them advertise it to us like music or movies. They're convincing us to get it. So we can check on how we're doing right now on our timing. I know we've got, we're good. So we're no longer operating the avatar from a virtual space. And then by 2025, so 2020 to 2025 is a big learning experience, because from 2020 to 2025, things are being perfected. And by 2025, all 5 sensory organs, it's tongue twister, all 5 sensory organs are to communicate from the robot to the operator, supposed human, you and me, consciousness. From 2020 to 2025, the robot to operator communication from the sensory organs is to be perfected. So that means from 20 to 25, when our brain is planted in an avatar, well, everything might not work as well as it should. We might taste a virtual plate of peas and it might taste like carrots. Or we might have some chocolate ice cream, but it tastes like vanilla. So I don't really know all the flaws of this. How are we doing on timing? We're good. How many minutes we got? I don't have a timer out here. We got a few minutes before we close this segment of the show, and we continue with the timeline. So 2030 to 2035 is called Rebrain. Brain reversing engineering begins, and science comes close to understanding consciousness. I think it's already close enough, but evidently it needs to be closer. Okay, this is what they think. And then 2035, and then 2035, wow, this is really confusing me. I should just say 35. 2035, transfer one's personality to an immortal carrier. The epoch of cyber immortality begins. So I suppose this is where we really start to become human-like. The immortal carrier is supposed to be the robosapien of the future. Everything else is getting to that. Everything else is perfecting the system so that we can get to this part in 2035. So the immortal carrier is the goal. The immortal carrier is the end-all be-all. It's our final existence as a robosapien. It's your personality transplanted into your immortal carrier, which is supposed to look like a perfected version of you. Now, I don't know if there are requirements as to what you look like. I don't know if you're going to have to pay money for this. I don't know if certain classes of people will have a better selection of immortal carriers, but I would imagine so. And if we start doing this, we can make people actually buy their time on Earth. We can make people work for their time on Earth. Now, there's not going to be any more disease. There's not going to be any more hunger, any more starvation or anything like that. But everything's going to just be about, living and being. So it's just very confusing. It seems to me like a recipe for disaster. The government will have total control of us, and via Dmitry Itskov and the 2045 initiative, and whoever he's working with, I need to investigate who's funded this and whatnot. But anyway, so you and I are supposed to be put in this immortal carrier and just live forever. I suppose procreation will end, death will end, and I don't know. I don't know what they expect us to do from there. We won't be starting families. So in 2045 to 2050, they predict social changes to develop dramatically, which of course they would have to, because we would all be immortal. There would be no more procreation and no more death. That's obviously a big change here. I would like to hear your thoughts. We will return shortly. We got to take a quick break here, but I would like to hear your thoughts. If you could email me at katie@fetchyournews.com. If you know anyone who's funding this, especially in the U.S. government, please hand that information over to me if you can. And also remember to follow me at Katy FYNTV. We'll be back to discuss the 2045 initiative. Thank you.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Katy Sissine, your hostess with the mostest, I hopest. Anyway, yeah, that was cheesy, but hey, it was on the fly. What can I say? I try. So yeah, I rhyme, and I don't even have to try sometimes. You know, it's just natural. We're talking about the 2045 initiative. But if you do want to hear me rhyme, just Google K Sizzle. No, I'm just kidding. The Evolution 2045 is, the last part of the episode, I was asking, you know, what politicians support this crazy 2045 initiative movement where we are all going to be robosapiens. And I thought, I can't think of anyone who would. I mean, I could assume some people, but I'm not going to call anyone out right now. Soros, but I'm not going to call anyone out right now. The Evolution 2045 is the political party of the 2045 initiative. So they've formed their own political party, Evolution 2045, in support of the 2045 initiative. And they call themselves the Party of Intellectual, Technological, and Spiritual Breakthrough. Here's some bullets of their manifesto. They exist on the threshold of a radical global change. That radical global change, of course, is human beings who procreate and live and die being changed into immortal beings, whatever that is, or immortal robosapiens that may or may not have souls. We are in need of a new paradigm for human development. So it says we need a new ideology and new ethics. Well, obviously, because many of our religious texts consider the family and things that would no longer be, they consider life and death. And these things would no longer be if we're immortal. So obviously humans will be developing in a different way because they're not going to be growing older. I mean, they will grow older, but you won't know anyone's age because apparently the immortal carriers will always look the same, and they'll be refurbished, and their brains themselves will be refurbished. So if you get rusty and your memory starts to go bad, you can go get it fixed and you can get it updated like a computer. And for the first time in human history, evolution can become manageable. That's what they say. So they admit right here, the Evolution Party, the Evolution 2045 political party, is actually admitting that they are playing God by saying that for the first time in human history, evolution can become manageable. And they call it manageable matter. I don't want to become manageable. I want to be a free human being. I don't know about you, but I was born in a democracy, which I'm sure we all were. Those of us that are tuning in today, most of us at least were born in America. And I believe in freedom and equality. So if I become manageable matter, managed by the 2045 initiative, managed by Dmitry Itskov and the government or whoever that is under this new world, this new era of humanity, which is actually pseudo-humanity, I don't want to be managed. I just don't want to be a part of this. It says, could such a shift in evolution happen by itself? Not likely. At the moment, humanity has no long-term plan for its further development. It is prone to inertia and short-term thinking. A large part of our political and intellectual elites passively and cautiously look at the achievements and possibilities of the scientific and technological progress. The transhumanist change is often dismissed from the outset. But despite the risk and cost, it says on evolution.2045.com, transhumanism carries a real opportunity for our civilization to reach a higher stage of development. Well, of course, if you're living forever, you have more opportunity to acquire, and you have more time to acquire what is called crystallized knowledge. And that is the building of knowledge over time. That's what makes a person wise. Now, if we're able to live for 500 years, we're going to be some smart beings, but I can't say that we're going to be people because we're not. The 2045 initiative has decided to establish a new political party, as I stated, and this is Evolution 2045. It states this is the time for good, wise, creative, strong, and self-confident people to join our call. It's time to live not for material gain, but for the sake of high ideals and goals. It's time to wake up and move forward. It's not about material gain, but yet one of the selling points of this is that you can look forever young and you can look exactly how you want to look and you're a mortal carrier, but yet it's not about anything superficial, apparently. It's not about material gain. It's just for it'll just catalyze the ability for philosophical thought, for freedom of philosophical thought in society. The creation of such a party is long overdue, apparently, and meets the urgent needs of our time. I disagree. Relationship with existing powers. The party does not intend to win votes through a populist platform. Their task is not the change of power, but the creation of a wide social demand to convince the world's government leaders to create a new strategy for society. So they're not trying to compete with other political parties. They are trying to be the one and only. They want everyone to be a part of the Evolution 2045. Because if you're not a part of the Evolution 2045, then we've got people, human beings, like we are right now, and then we have these transhumanists. And how are we supposed to compete with these computer-like devices? If this happens, if these things are to be created as they are being developed right now as we speak, they will overtake you. If you don't become one of them, they will overtake you. Because when a species, which it will be a new species, as the Museum of Man said, when a species knows it's dominant to another species, it will dominate that species. We as humans did that. So that's just the nature of things. And by introducing this species into society, we are creating a species that threatens Homo sapiens. And the only way you can be a human and not be threatened by a robosapien is if you become a robosapien. There's a popular phrase, if you can't beat them, join them. And apparently that's what this is all about here. Let's see. So, for the man of the future, for the robosapien, life is all about spiritual self-improvement. where war and violence will be unacceptable. They call it neo-humanity. I like this picture. It's from the 2045 website, and it shows, I guess, a robosapien. It shows the, are those the Hindu? I think those are the Hindu like meditation markings, your chakras. It looks like it's showing a being and its chakras, which is, I believe in Hinduism, it's a practice in yoga. Yoga believes in the chakras and balancing the chakras, and I don't know the correct terminology for it, so I'm sorry if I said anything wrong to any yoga instructors out there. My apologies, or anyone familiar with this information. So, you know, chakras and yoga and meditation, it's all about self-understanding and self-awareness to the fullest. It's the height, it's the peak of philosophical thought. So what they're telling us and what they're selling us, of course they want to sell this to intellectuals because intellectuals are going to be running the show. Gotcha. So we got a few minutes left here tonight, y'all, or today, this morning, y'all. And so it wants to sway intelligent individuals to become a part of the movement and to join Evolution 2045 political party, of course, because it's the intelligent individuals like you and I who want to be informed that are going to be running the show, that are going to be deciding if this will come to be or if it won't. Now remember, it's already in development. And there's actually a secretary named Nadine, the first humanoid robot secretary. Now she's not one's consciousness planted in an immortal carrier. That hasn't been developed yet. Nadine is what I just said. She's a humanoid robot. So she looks like a human, but she's a computer. She's basically Siri in a human body. And it's crazy how lifelike she looks. Just look up Nadine on YouTube. You can look up Nadine Secretary, Nadine Secretary Singapore. And I'm sure it'll be the first thing that comes up on YouTube. You can see her in action, working as a secretary. She has a job. So they want to develop these humanoid robots such as Nadine. They're already doing that, I should say. They don't want to. They're already developing humanoid robots to do tasks that can be completed by computers. Not as well as humans, of course, not nearly as well, but tasks that Siri can do, secretarial work, etc., etc. And I guess looking like a human is just a perk. So they're already doing this, and they're already starting to get into virtual reality very, very seriously. I was at Best Buy last week checking out some new stuff for my new Mac Pro, and because it doesn't have a USB port, so I have to get a port to actually, so I have to get an attachment. I have to pay another $50 to get an attachment in order to attach a USB to my device, because that's Apple saying you need to spend more money. You just got a new product from us, but you know, if you can get a new product from us, you can spend a little more. So they got a little bit more money for me. And anyway, so I don't even know what I was going with that, because I think it's just so ridiculous that Apple made me buy that extra piece. But anyway, so I don't know. And technology is out of control, people. The 2045 initiative is something serious. And it has its own political party. They call themselves the party of the intellectual, the technological, and the spiritual breakthrough. They have aims and goals, just like every other political party. You can check this out on evolution.2045.com. Let's check out a couple of these. They say, let's check out number 1. We will develop, promote, and implement a new ideology and strategy of bodily and spiritual human evolution in order to reach a new stage of human civilization. This phase will be associated with a radical widening of human creativity and cybernetic immortality. I don't know. What do you think? I think it's crazy. Anyway, we're out of time. Remember, you're watching the Katy Sissine Show. Follow me at Katy FYNTV and email me with questions, comments, and suggestions at katy@fetchyournews.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you, same place, same time, tomorrow morning.